Guys, do you want to know how to draft up powerful dispute letters? Well, it's important to do the research. So what I want you to do is go to Google right now and ask Google how to draft powerful dispute letters. And then you'll see that this is an incognito window and you have it right here. You have my website right here, and it pretty much goes over the basics. And this might seem extensive, as you can see. Here are 24 different types of dispute letters. Yeah, so it's good to familiarize with these things right here. Even though all of them, I don't use all of them, but this is just good to get an understanding of what the possibilities are. Now these are basic ones. You can download these. Some of these I use, some of them I don't. Again, this is just basic stuff for you guys to understand. Here's the PDF you can download right here from the website. This goes to the FTC website here. And 623, debt validation request dispute letters, identity theft dispute letters. Really good stuff. And what else? Feedback from bureaus, some example template letters. Again, this is just basic stuff for you to become familiarized with. And here's the PDF right there. So these are just samples. They're better than nothing, okay? Do I use these? No, not really. This form is through Equifax to dispute online, but it's just good to do research, okay? It's good to do research. All right, so there it is. And this is something for free you could use. It could be helpful. So check it out. Inquiries. Are they important? Do they matter? Well, I think they definitely do, and it depends upon your application of those inquiries, what you're evaluating, the importance of inquiries for. Inquiries are important to actually remove other accounts off. So I want you to take a look at these inquiries that I removed off my client, Ricardo. He's a recent client, signed up pretty recently. And just take a look at it. I'm going to let it, I'm going to let the camera go here. I'm just going to have it let you look at it. And you can see there's different inquiries, but they all got off the same batch on the on the investigation report due date. They all came back. Well, they all got removed. Why is that? Why? It's such a coincidence that all these inquiries were able to get removed off just like that. Well, you might say, so what? It's inquiries. Anyone can do it. Well, if that was true, everyone would be doing it, and credit repair companies wouldn't be in business. Well, the importance of inquiries is actually very crucial to removing the accounts that you want to remove off. Let me give you an example. If you're trying to remove off a charge-off account and you disputed the inquiry when you opened that charge-off account, let's say it was a recent account within 2 years, and you disputed the inquiry. If you disputed the inquiry and the creditor couldn't even prove that you inquired in the first place, what makes you think they can prove that you actually had an account with them in the first place? So that's a trick. That's a trick you could use. That's a trick that could definitely do you some good. But what happens to accounts that are older, that, because inquiries stay on your credit report for, 2 years, right? Well, you might have collections or charge-offs that are older than 2 years, and then the inquiry for that has already fallen off. What do you do for that? Well, removing inquiries is not the only way to remove a charge-off. However, I just thought I'd share this with you because if you're in a situation where you have an account that was recently opened, and recently to me is like within 2 years, and you have the inquiry still on there, well, removing the inquiry off could be a good indicator that the creditor can't prove you had an account to begin with. These aren't theories. These are things that we've done. And like I said, if the account is within that 2-year period and you remove the inquiry, there's a good chance you can get that charge off because the creditor couldn't prove that you inquired in the first place because they don't have the contract. So it goes down to conducting some forensics, meaning figuring out why they couldn't prove that you applied or why was it removed. It's all about understanding the other side and why they couldn't get something removed or how they verified the item. Another example, it's like a bankruptcy. Well, disputing a bankruptcy is for the most part, I think in almost all situations, you're not disputing the fact that you actually had one and saying that you didn't. You're more or less disputing the fact that the reporting right is not there. You're disputing the right to report that information. You would be disputing the wrongful use, the impermissible use of your data, considering bankruptcies from courts are not reported to bureaus. And so who's reporting the bankruptcy? Okay? It's all about understanding who's handling your information. It's kind of like a collection, where you have a collection which is, hired by the original creditor, but there's no contract between you and that collection agency. So it's a violation of privacy. It's a privacy issue there. Then that's another can of worms you can open up. So you may have actually had the charge-off account. You may actually owe the creditor money. But if you dive deeper and find out that the creditor already wrote it off as uncollectible debt, just because they're not reporting it as a charge-off doesn't mean it's actually a charge-off or not. So that goes deeper within the forensics. You have to dig deeper and have to have the resources to understand how they reported that and what happened, because a charge-off is a permissible business tax exemption for creditors that extend credit to people to which the borrower doesn't pay back. Well, the creditor didn't receive income on that debt, so therefore they shouldn't be taxed upon it, right? Because creditors borrow money from different banks, and so you have to go down through the paper trail of where that note came from. Your loan that you have, chances are that loan was bought from another bank. Loans are bought and then sold. Debts and credits are bought and sold. They're commodities. A bank buys money just like you borrow money. It goes up. It goes up the chain of command, up to the Federal Reserve. So it's all about finding where that money came from. Could be just numbers to you. It could be just dollars. But actually, there's a back-end story on where that money came from that they gave to you. They have a balance sheet. So you have to dig deeper to understand that, and then that could help you remove, collections, charge-offs, whatever they are. The collection accounts are treated differently, but they're dealing with privacy rights, just like a bankruptcy, right? And my point is that there's going to be a lot of indirect things that you could do to remove the obvious negative accounts versus just disputing it, going head on. It's all about your approach. You don't want to give yourself away, and you don't want to prolong this credit repair process. So, guys, if you want to save yourself the headache and hire a professional, you can hire me, because pretty much been in the game for 10 years, know a lot, seen a lot, and if you want to take the guessing game out of credit repair and hire a professional, and I think you should. I think it's worth it, because you could spend your time and money on trying to learn this and make mistakes, or you can hire a professional, and then what's to say it doesn't work? Well, at least you know that a professional tried to do it and they couldn't do it. So those are the things that you should be aware of. Those are the things that you should be ready for if you're in the credit repair journey. Your expectations, and doing research on the people that you feel are competent enough to do your file some justice.